Hello and welcome to part 2 of episode 3 on CPD education in India. In part 1 we have discussed about how few physical therapists combines technique to make it an integrated approach to influence students to sell their workshops and courses. In today's episode, we are going to witness the excellent knowledge that these instructors have regarding their favorite subject, which they teach to the upcoming physical therapy students and practitioners, misleading the public and playing with the life of the students towards the clinical skills adopted in the CPD workshops. Now carefully see how the advertisement posters gives a misleading and a fake information about the credentials. So in 2018-19 it was an instructor which got changed after our exposed to practitioner. So this individual is not a certified instructor nor practitioner. Now let's check how knowledgeable he is regarding his subject of dry needling.
After that, coming to the whether why to use dry needling, why we physio are using dry needling, what is its importance in physiotherapy. We physio know how to treat the pain. We physio have got lots of electro modalities. We physio have got manual therapy, everything. Then why to simply use this dry needling? So for answer to that this question, actually, see, if we are looking back into the history of physiotherapy, before that physiotherapy was like kind of okay. Physiotherapy treatment means it's 1 hour treatment. Whenever patient used to come to us, they used to think that okay, this person is going to treat me for 1 hour. It was like coaching classes.
So the physiotherapy treatment is being now compared with the coaching classes.
Okay. It was like tuition classes that okay, if teacher came, he had to teach 1 hour. Okay. So same thinking was in the patient mind also. Physiotherapy means 1 hour, and if any physiotherapist is coming and or whether they are visiting the clinic or whether that physiotherapist is going to home visit, they have to treat for 1 hour. And ultimately, being a physiotherapist, if we are treating one patient for 1 hour, in hardly in one day we can see 10 to 12 patients because ultimately we are also a human being. And in return, what we are getting? Just a small piece of a small amount of money, which is very hard for our survival.
So remember, this is the clinical reasoning given by him why dry needling is supposed to be used by a physical therapist. Listen carefully.
So, in order to do advancement, what we did, we started using the advanced technique in order to save our energy, in order to save our time. And that is why we have started using the different techniques. See, dry needling, we are using dry needling mainly for the musculoskeletal pain. Okay. And if we are talking about the musculoskeletal pain, in that musculoskeletal pain, mainly the pain associated with trigger point. That is myofascial trigger point. If you are a good manual therapist, okay, you can release that trigger point nicely in a better way. So there is no need of this dry needling. Again, the point is then why to use simply? So see, if we are a good manual therapist, take an example. Okay, I'm just taking a common example of trapezitis. You can take. Okay, so inflammation of trapeza upper fiber trapezius, right? So it is very common, and if we are a good manual therapist, at least it will take 10 till 15 minutes continuous work of our both thumb in order to release the upper trapezius nicely. If you want really the good result.
It will take almost like 10 till 15 minutes continuous work of both the thumb to release that trapezius. Okay? But if we want to treat with the dry needling, okay, just 2 needles and it will take hardly 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes maximum. Just what we have to do, we have to insert the needle and leave it, and we have to talk with that patient for 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. So nothing to worry. क्या करना होता, जस्ट 2 नीडल डाला, आराम से टाइम पास में 2 से 3 मिनट जो है पेशेंट से हंस के बात कर लो. In that 2 to 3 minutes, you are saving your energy of 15 minutes. Continuously, you are saving your thumb as well. Okay, and you will get better results than your mobilization or manipulation technique, manual technique. That's the reason we started using dry needling. We started using dry needling by seeing its result. It has got long-lasting, deeper effect than the manual therapy, than any other technique. Second example I can give you, like take an example of like plantar fasciitis, which is very common nowadays. And if we are talking about the normal physiotherapy treatment, the traditional physiotherapy treatment, minimum it will take a month to treat a plantar fasciitis cases. And in that 1 month also, the patient gets fed up and their pain hardly it get reduced to 50%, and they stop coming, like सोच लेते हैं let it be, इतना पेन झेल लेंगे. So after 1 month of continuous treatment, but if we are treating that patient, if you are treating plantar fasciitis with dry needling, hard maximum it will need 6 to 7 sessions. Just within 1 session, you can release minimum of, with guaranteed minimum of 40 to 50% of the pain you can relieve in 1 session. So that much effective it is. If you want to use K4 laser also or shockwave therapy also for plantar fasciitis, it's not going to give that much effective result, which a dry needling can give. So why not we should use that? It will take almost like half an hour to treat the neck pain if someone has got the spasm or trapezitis. But with dry needling, we can treat it in 5 minutes. So why not we should save our energy? Why not we should save our time? And that's the reason we are using it. Okay. So now coming to the, so that is the reason. That is why we are using dry needling in our clinical practice, being a physiotherapist. And this is the importance of dry needling in physiotherapy.
Ever heard of such hilarious content of dry needling, why it is supposed to be used by a clinical therapist? Now, the esteemed organization governing physiotherapy in India and the council should definitely take note of such instructors spreading so much of misleading information to the general public as well as to the Indian physiotherapy students. Such instructors defame our physiotherapy professions, and council seriously needs to act or make some rules, laws and guidelines regarding CPD education in India. If these guidelines are not available, many physical therapy students and practitioners will fall prey to such instructors out there in India. So understand the knowledge what these instructors have and what they are going to impart it to the physical therapy students. That's it for the episode number 4, part 2. Take care.